Hello guys, this is George Bunjit with the Murray State University, and in the first two videos that we discussed, I showed how you can install Arduino and also run the first code that you can send a signal, just one value over the serial port, the USB port. And in the second video I did show you how you can install Python, and now we hope that you can, after you install it well, and also the Pi serial that communicates with the Arduino board, then in that case we can write the first code, and that will do this only in Python. Once we download the one code in Arduino in that board, it's going to do the same thing again and again. It's gonna, as we were saying, the Arduino, the main purpose is to power a sensor that we intend to use for measurements, and also to use it as an interface to the computer, like a data acquisition tool. That's all that we use it. Python is going to be the one that will use it to program it. So in this case, to open Python after you install it, assuming that you don't have a shortcut like I have it in here, generally most of the time, from what I've seen, it's not going to put you, in this case, shortcut, so you have to go to the start menu. So in this case, you go there and scroll and find Python, the letter P. I have several variants of Python. The last time I used this one, I mean, as yesterday we were discussing, unfortunately I said it's a newer version. It's not. It's a previous version, but with some fixes. Python 3.8, it's the newest version that we have there, and that's if you did install it, both of them will work pretty good for the measurements, and there will be no problem. So I don't recommend, as I said, Python 2.7. So in this case, we do go in, suppose that we want to use Python 3.8. In this case, we said it's 32 bits, so it doesn't have a shortcut. Let's create a shortcut in this case. So you guys can see, you can right click on this, then you go for more, and it's gonna tell us where is the open the location, and you see right here, it's this is the IDLE, it's the IDE for Python, the simplest, and I don't recommend. There are some others like Spider, very good, and others that you have to buy. This is free, so, and it does a very good job anyway. So in this case, to create a shortcut, we right click there, and you guys see that right here it says create a shortcut, and because I have this here, the icon for this one, it's not going to allow me to create a shortcut right there, so it asked me, you want to do on the desktop, and that's where you click yes. In my case I will click no because I have it already. So that's how you will do this here. So in that, after you're done with it, then we just double click it, it'll open this as you're saying, Python 3.8. In this case that I have, it's Python 3.8.5. And you guys can see that right here, in the file we say new file, and it's an empty file. So I said that I did create the code, like in this case, this is the code. I'm not gonna type it because it's gonna take me some time to type it by hand, but I'm gonna discuss. You can copy this code and put it in there, in your file, and name it however you name it. I did name it counting because that was and it's .py. So of course, the first thing in the code, we want to import the serial, the Pi serial that we were saying, and this is serial command is in the Pi serial library. So we import that here because we want to use it, and then this is the data that we acquire from the Arduino. So in this case, we create a variable that we put it there, and you guys see that I use this serial. Library from the Pi serial library, and then again it's a serial communication dot, and I have to tell what COM port, and as we mentioned, my COM port, it happens in this case it's COM6. If I'm going to use another one, there'll be a different one, but you have to adjust it like the same we did in Arduino, so it has to be the same. and the same baud rate we have, the how many bits per second we are communicating between the board and the computer. So that's how we create and we initialize this data that we put in this variable. But of course, in order to continually inquire and continually ask, give me more data, give me more data, are you having some data, then I have to create an infinite loop. And in this case, it's a while loop, because the difference between a for loop and a while loop is that as you know, for loop basically it's only for a number of iterations that you define yourself when you need it. While loop, it's putting you a condition there. You put a condition, you don't know how many iterations you'll run, but you have a condition. And in this situation, because we want to run it until we stop the code, the program, so it's what we call it an infinite loop. It runs always, so the condition is infinite, is always met, is never gonna be a false in this case. So that's how we do it, and it will work pretty good to acquire data as long as we run that. Then we have a condition, as you guys are inside of it, because initially we might, start this software and there is no data. So if there is the data, like we send here, then that's what we have from this variable, and we have in waiting. I'm waiting for the data, and if this is true, that means it's larger than 0. If it's false, it's going to be 0. And it's not going to enter into this condition, it's going to continue wait for it. If it's true, then it grabs it. As you can see, it reads that line that is there, and it's going to put into this other variable that we say my data. So that is what I'm going to print it in here. For the first program, I'm not going to plot it, and I'm not going to do any analysis with this data. And anyway, no, that's just an increment. Every second it's going to be counting with a new value. So if you are putting this code in your first file and then you are ready, then it's asking you to run this module right here. So in this situation you say so, and it's going to start counting because you see I did open it for a while. It's counting 2400 seconds before, and now it's counting started from 0 when I did put it in. It continues every second to count. As you can see on my screen, I don't have any Arduino open it here, which means I don't need it to open it. The Arduino is on the board. Python is on the computer, so the Python is controlling the board, and also it does whatever I am telling it to do. If I will tell this to be plot, which we'll do in the next video, so we plot this, you suppose that you get some signal from your sensor and you want to plot it as a function of time or whatever you are doing it there, then it's going to plot it here in real time. And if you want to filter it, for example, you will do that for you in Python. And if you want, for example, to save it, to derivate it, whatever it is, if this signal is this is a sensor from a controller, say suppose you're having a device, a larger project where your sensor provides you data and you control some process with it. So you can follow with that control there in your algorithm in Python that will control motors, whatever it's in part of your process, whatever actuator you're controlling. I hope this code, this video helps you. If it doesn't, please let me know. If you have trouble, send me an email at gbunjet@murraystate.edu. Thank you.